Join me as I take on the challenge of breaking down Nassim Taleb's arguments against Bitcoin in just 5 minutes. Nassim Taleb is a luminary in financial circles, known for his groundbreaking work on risk and uncertainty. He's the author of several best-selling books, including The Black Swan and Anti-Fragile. And when it comes to Bitcoin, Taleb's got some strong criticisms that are worth exploring. When it comes to Bitcoin, Taleb's main criticism is that it's not a reliable store of value. In fact, he's gone on record saying that Bitcoin is not a currency at all, but rather a speculative asset that's prone to wild fluctuations in value. He argues that Bitcoin's lack of intrinsic value, combined with its limited use cases, makes it a poor choice for investors looking for a stable asset. Furthermore, Taleb points out that Bitcoin's volatility is actually a major drawback, as it makes it difficult for merchants to price goods and services in Bitcoin. And let's not forget that Bitcoin's limited supply is actually a myth, as the total supply of Bitcoin is capped at 21 million, but the total supply of crypto assets is virtually unlimited. Taleb also argues that Bitcoin is not a hedge against inflation or market downturns. In fact, he believes that Bitcoin is more likely to be correlated with the stock market, meaning that it will rise and fall with the broader market. This means that investors who are looking for a safe haven asset will be disappointed with Bitcoin. Additionally, Taleb points out that Bitcoin's decentralized nature is not necessarily a strength, as it makes it vulnerable to 51% attacks and other security risks. In terms of anti-fragility, Taleb argues that Bitcoin is actually a fragile system because it's heavily reliant on a single blockchain and a finite number of nodes. This makes it vulnerable to single points of failure, which could lead to a catastrophic collapse of the entire system. Furthermore, Taleb believes that Bitcoin's reliance on energy-intensive mining is unsustainable in the long term, and that the environmental costs of Bitcoin are far higher than its benefits. One of Taleb's most compelling arguments against Bitcoin is that it's actually a highly leveraged asset. He points out that the vast majority of Bitcoin holders are not actually holding Bitcoin as a long-term investment, but rather as a speculative bet on its future price. This means that when the price of Bitcoin drops, these leveraged investors are forced to sell their Bitcoin holdings, which drives the price even lower. Taleb argues that this creates a toxic feedback loop that will ultimately lead to a collapse in the price of Bitcoin. Another example of Bitcoin's flaws is its lack of scalability. Taleb points out that the Bitcoin network is only capable of processing a few dozen transactions per second, which is woefully inadequate for a global currency. This means that Bitcoin is not actually useful as a form of payment, and that its main use case is as a speculative asset. Furthermore, Taleb believes that the development of second-layer scaling solutions is a tacit admission that Bitcoin is fundamentally flawed. So what does it all mean? In short, Nassim Taleb is highly skeptical of Bitcoin's potential as a store of value or a medium of exchange. He believes that its volatility, lack of scalability, and fragility make it a poor choice for investors. Thanks for watching. If you've got thoughts on Taleb's arguments, be sure to leave them in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more about cryptocurrency trends, be sure to check out our video on the top 5 crypto trends to watch in the next year.